Hello, everyone. My name is Ij, and welcome to Project Redstoneworld Devlog, episode 29. This is part 1 in our end of summer 2025 devlog series. This summer, we've made changes all over the world, and I'm really excited to cover them. However, these devlogs are going to be kind of produced in a bit of a weird order, because as I start this first part, I already have over 50 minutes of RTC footage recorded, as well as some other major global changes, and you'll be seeing why that's already there soon. Today, I don't really know what this devlog is going to encompass. I know that we have to reach all the other sectors, and I know that there's RTC things missing from that 50-minute footage because we've done even more since then. So it's going to be interesting to see how the things fit in. I don't really want to rush anything, so I mean, if we do have to go to 3 parts, that's okay. I'm going to try not to, but we'll see where we go. And I'm also not going to do any like crazy editing this time around. Like last summer, I know I didn't even do like a actual devlog on time. I just did editing. I am moving in a week, and I want to try to get this all out while I'm still on my old setup. So, yeah, we're just going to be doing some normal devlogs and covering what actually matters, and that's what we've been putting hard work into in the actual world. And I may miss a few things that we can cover maybe in like a fall devlog if I'm not too screwed over by engineering coursework, but we'll just have to see. Now, before we get into my, covering of our changes out west, let me show some important global changes in a different way first. I'll see you soon. Alright, so you'll notice that I'm cutting away from the main video right now, and I'm also doing it at a terrible time where the entire internet's on here right now. But I'm very excited to introduce something that we have not done since Devlog episode 1, and that is actually having a guest in the devlogs. And this time, it's actually going to contribute to it, rather than building some weird observer statue in the south. So, I'm going to be introducing our senior admin, who is one of the main people behind this TPS system that you're seeing up top here. And I know I already mentioned that, and I mentioned that in the previous devlog number 27, that I was using the world border to check the TPS, and we were thinking of making a dynamic system with that. And of course, I was bested with a much better system, so I'll let him handle the specifics of that. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Lucas. I've been here for around 9 months. I have been working on this TPS system. The way it works is that every cycle, you can see this clock here, every time a cycle starts, it sets the world border to a certain radius or a certain width, and it's told to contract in a way that for every millisecond that passes, it contracts by exactly 1 block. So after a certain amount of ticks, it will divide the amount of ticks that happen, which is a fixed amount, by the distance that the world border moved, which you can get using an execute store command. And the way we have it right now is that it has a precision of 2 decimal digits. And if the TPS is below a certain amount and there are no players in Founding Island, it will switch to global control automatically.
And here you can see I'm going to set the display to this TPS system. Now, you'll notice, now this is going to piss everyone off in the chat, so just ignore them, please. There's a lot here because some of it's from a separate profiler system that we'll be showing. He did piss me off because he did not use any hashtags in his fake players, but here you can see where the TPS number is actually being calculated and where it's getting its values from. There's also this value here at the bottom, FI status, which is the control switch of That's tracking how many players is in FI, and that uses that value to decide, okay, are we switching between the global control introduced in Devlog episode 18 or this old classic founding on control that we've had since like 2013. So right now it's just him and I in FI, so that's why it's only 2 in the FI status. And these commands here is what's checking for that. There's also a system I made called FI Mandate that that disables the forced loading of FI, but that breaks some things. So that's kind of like how we had it before. But this means that when players are in FI, it's always going to be having the founding iron loaded. This creates some extra lag, but it works out better. You're not getting all these train resetting messages. But the really good part about this is what happens when everybody leaves FI. Get the hell out. Oh, wait, he was faster than me. So, now that we're out, you'll see server control switch. FI local to global. FI has been unforced loaded. And what that means is that now we're on global control. And I didn't run a single command. So, because the TPS was less than 17, correct?
17 and a half.
Okay. Then that means that it set world spawn to 000 and activated all the systems here. So that means that Finon's not being used at all. There's also a system part of this where it's supposed to alert the admins if there's like really low TPS.
So this is just basically an extension of the TPS system. As you know, the world border retracts by 1 block for every millisecond, so it just checks how much it retracts for every tick, and basically tells people how many ticks took X amount of time. Obviously, it's not very pretty. I haven't bothered to decorate it yet. But if I just run it here, you'll see the TPS bar will change, and it will start a profile over 500 game ticks. So you can see the fastest tick only took 29 milliseconds, which is pretty fast. That's like 33 TPS for 1 tick. And the slowest tick was 75 milliseconds, which was a small lag spike. So once this profile is done, it'll tell you how many ticks were within each range that was set up, which I call bins, and how many entities are near each player. So it can help maybe pinpoint if somebody has, a bunch of minecarts in Plot World or something. So this is an example of a pretty normal profile. You can see the average TPS is like 20.02. So this is pretty good. But let's say if somebody were to load RTC in Founding Island, that average TPS would obviously be lower.
Yeah, when I was working on the RCorp Rail, there was like some weird world edit glitches going on, and I actually decided to do this profile to see what would happen. And you had this light turning on a lot, which was the less than 2 TPS, and then you also had the greater than 50 TPS from the catch-up. So that was an example of a really chaotic profile. But this one here, and then when you scroll up, you see the amount of entities that are near each player. With us having the most, because we're the only people in main world, even though it's the entire point of the server. But this is actually also something that was added here. So if you go up, there's this 3x3 door, and now you can actually access the global control. You need to hold a staff card, which I don't feel like pulling out, but
Got one.
You've never had them in your inventory before. What happened?
Saved hotbar.
Die. No, fuck you. Okay, wait, you just no-clipped. You have to explain that.
Yeah, so you may have noticed me kind of like phasing through blocks. We got a new plugin, which works with a client-side mod. It's called Axiom. You may have heard of it before, you may have not. It has a bunch of little tools, such as being able to change your fly speed, being able to no-clip, having infinite reach. I can just start placing blocks all the way over there. You can see that sand being placed. It allows you to also build with illegal states, but the most powerful tool is called editor mode, and it's very useful for terraforming. I don't know if you want to go to plot world for this, IJ, to demonstrate this. You
Yeah.
can basically create mountains in a matter of a few seconds.
Here, I could go to my my plot that I did for. So this is me just trying to figure it all out. With the multiplayer, you actually need a license for this. Hang on, I gotta hide chat because he's gonna put his password in. Oh, never mind. We don't have to worry about that. All right.
It's a very powerful tool which allows you to terraform very easily and create, especially large-scale builds. It really helps out with that. So if I were to kind of like, I can create a hill next to those mountains there in just a few seconds, like that. I need to be trusted on the plot.
Oh, I got you. There you go.
I got it. I got it. And I can just create a hill next to those mountains there, like that. That took me 5 seconds. So if you're really interested in this, you can always check out the actual mod, which I highly recommend doing. By default, it's accessible to admin and above, but lower ranked players can use it in plot world and in main world under special permissions, because it's a very powerful tool, and it's helped us recently with RCorp Rail. It's helped us do some terraforming around the RTC island. It's just been a very useful mod.
And I use the builder tools part of it every minute of every day that I'm on.
Yeah.
Saying the only thing about it is that for multiplayer usage, you do need that license. And I'm very grateful that we were granted it for Redstone World. Okay, now you.
Yeah. Yeah, but the little tweaks available in builder tools, such as symmetry, rotation, cloning, stacking, have been extremely useful to us, even on slightly smaller builds. But yeah, it's genuinely impressive how easy to use it is. It's built around, I guess, 3D software. Like, if you're familiar with Blender, you'll get familiar with Axiom. Yeah, just a wonderful mod. I do recommend.
Yep, and it is causing a lot of progress for this summer in Redstone World. Something I'm very happy about. Alright, as it was just mentioned, we did get the Axiom tool on the server, and one of the best things that we've done with it so far was actually handling all these stupid RCorp rails. So you'll notice that it's not just a floating piece of reinforced deep slate anymore, and we actually have the stairs on the side. They're covered, and they have the actual minecart rails in it that are powered. Now, this is a straight segment, but even if we go up to this interchange up here, for example, everything is sorted out. And we heavily automated this with the Axiom tool, because otherwise we would be dealing with about 40,000 reinforced deep slate blocks at least. So for a while we had to do a lot of the staring by hand, because even World Edit couldn't handle a lot of that. But once we could do the Axiom scripts, that was a major game changer. So I'm going to show a map briefly. This is the map from the end of April, so this is right after the last devlogs. We did change a few of the routes of the tracks. The red is what was not constructed yet at the time, but now everything is constructed. So around here, just one of the big changes is that we also have the stations for everything. So I don't think I really need to fly around and show every single station, but I'm telling you, we have a station everywhere. So that's just Das Village. I know one of the big ones, which is why I'm going this way, is the theme park, because what we actually had to do with that is route it through the pirate island, and now I've actually blocked it off with these stone bricks so that there's no like Rule 11 issues. But you can see it kind of fits in not terribly here. So we managed to route that through the island, And now when we go up north this way, bypassing this stupid place, we get to where the cruise ship station was moved, because it was originally right here, and I'm stupid and left this in. Hang on. But now it is right here, and I guess you could consider this technically a cruise ship change. We don't have any cruise ship changes this time around. Every other sector, yes, even the main bunker, but cruise ship, no, besides this station being added. And then you start going far up north, and this is where our one and only four-way interchange is. So, I mean, it looks kind of crazy to me still, and it's completely unnecessary because this is probably where you would be seeing the least amount of carts, besides people just trying to go directly from the cruise ship to the main bunker, which you could do with these two tracks here. This one leads to our first restricted station, and that's actually at our testing sector. So that way is the one closer to the cruise ship, and then this loops back to the theme park. And then if we go back here, load please. Now this way, going far up north, it's going to turn east. I'm beating it. And then this is actually an alternate way besides that old creepy U1 track to get to the Forgotten Isle. Now, since this place is considered even more restricted than, you know, that testing sector, there is this bypass track that if someone was somehow able to find themselves going up north this way, it is going to quickly get them out. So that they're not going into this restricted zone. And then this one will join back up to that one in a little bit. But here, now we have this little train station here. And then this one loops back together. This goes all the way out to the rake game. So, of course, that is another restricted area. Now, it's actually quite far away, so I'm just going to warp out there. And at the rate game, we've actually gotten a little bit of changes, and that is all outside of here, where I thought I turned on no clip. This Blakewood town's gotten a little bit more developed. We have a few village houses here. The rake lives on, and you can tell that we just recycled the safe house and shop locations from the actual rake game, and then just had YT add some gore to it, but I think it looks cool. And then over here, this is where the actual train station is. So, as you see, there's another bypass track, and this takes you to, like, some kind of RCorp headquarters, where they do have, like, the rake map, and this is where, like, a ground station to keep eye on operations if they're not up on this helicarrier. But now that we have the station here, there's really not much of anything going on in this Blakewood area. And then this just goes up to our crazy interchange. So yes, everything is built, everything is staired, everything has the rails, they're all powered. And then the next thing for RCorp Rail is just adding the actual way to go between all the stations. So that is pretty cool. I'm happy that, you know, we accelerated that this summer. Now, we're actually going to go to the main bunker. I know I was shocked in the last devlog to actually talk about how we had some of the terraforming on the side get added, and we had this replace the old desert village. Now here you can see this is what we decided to do with the RCorp Rail, because that map showed that the RCorp Rail would have a station here and then another station here. That was a bit silly. So instead we did this. This is coming from the airport over there. So that goes to that four-way interchange, but here this just gives you the other side of this bunker station here. And then this actually leads you into the main bunker train station, where it does the subscription sign-up still. And then with the Axiom, I added hills. So, I mean, they're not, I don't think they're terrible. It's better than my world edit terraforming. And it just, I feel like it makes the bunker desert look way better. Because, I mean, we just have two sets of them. But I feel like it just adds some much needed variety. And I brought back the old desert village. I just put it here instead. And then on the actual insides of the bunker, I mean, I did this, which is kind of useless because we're not going to get around to this anytime soon. Just writing points where we could potentially expand the bunker. But the only expansion that I've actually done so far, this is kind of, I was wondering if I should just leave this as a secret and see if people will find it, but I can show it. So, as you know, there is this admin penthouse zone if you do have the admin card. This gives you the achievement Memories of Back Home, where it is a old replica of the Tower 1 penthouse. But you know what? I was thinking about it. We're not in 2018 anymore. So why have one penthouse when you can have two? So over here, now we have the Tower 2 penthouse added to the main bunker as well. I don't know why there's a zombie there. But it's kind of just been... Sorry, that water sound is so annoying. But we have this just hidden in here. So, I think that's cool. We're bringing the FI and RTC to the main bunker. Now, at the theme park, we've talked a little bit about working more with the red story, but we haven't actually done anything with that yet. Oh, I did expand this map, though, and in, you know, how we've recently been doing things, made sure that everything was labeled. And you'll notice there's something looks different in the south there. And I'm going to fly over it right now. So, this was really crazy to see for the first time. Because I know that I was logged off for the day. I was, you know, doing an 8-hour work shift. And then I came on to see this. The Waterpark got a massive overhaul. So we've kept a lot of the old segments. Of course, we had to delete that center tree a long time ago, but that's old news. We still have this purple slide and the gay slide, and the lazy river, but everything just looks so much better. I think that's mainly been some YouTube guy, an acronym, making these changes. That's mean. Yeah, they've been doing a great job, and yeah, I think it's really good looking. I mean, we just gotta fly around here for a couple minutes just to appreciate it, because everything just has so much more detail. I know Chambo was like, "Oh, it's not as good as the theme park," but I mean, I like it. It's got a different vibe to it. It feels like way more. I feel like it's a lot more tropical, and this beach and the palm trees definitely contributes to that too. But that's something that's kind of missing from the theme park. It doesn't have that tropical vibe. And I know that some functionality of everything still has to be added for this. I know there's like some underground slide here. I don't know if this is. I mean, this has to be still getting worked on, because I mean, you could just walk right out into here. And then I know this VIP bar got some additions too. So it's looking good. It's great that we have progress. You know, I think a year ago I was taking this off of the release goals, but now, yeah, definitely. It'll be done in time for the release. So it's just great overall. And you can see here, this is where we had that RCorp Rail route to the testing sector. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know, actually, and it's funny when this happens. I don't know too much of, like, the specifics of the changes here, because I was not involved in this at all. But I know that we do have several new water slides. This one's definitely new. I think that this has like thunder coming from it every few minutes. There's this new pink one. There's that underground one being worked on, and then there's this one here where you drop down. It's got that 3x3, and then this is gonna be like a beach zone. So it's looking really, really cool. I'm happy about this. All right, I am bringing back.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to
oh
another
God!
video.
Screw you! You screwed me up. I was gonna say that I was bringing back Lucas for a introduction to our little changes around spawn, but it seems that he's introduced himself already. Carry on.
Yeah, so we've kind of added some little tidbits around spawn just to make it more accessible for people. Like we have signs with the Plot World portal. We had to add a massive sign Plot World portal here because people apparently keep seeing, like, just keep missing it. We've also added a little map around here, which is a 10 by 10 map, so 100 maps total, which cover the entirety of the Redstone World project, at least most of the project. It has Founding Island in the middle. You can actually see part of the Rake game on it. You have the theme park, the bunker, all the sectors, just so you can kind of... So new players could walk here and just kind of see what the project kind of looks like, maybe to motivate them to go to other sectors.
Sir, I covered this in Devlog 27.
Damn!
I wasn't gonna stop you though. Okay. Also, YT is going through your backup chest.
As long as he doesn't remove anything, I'm fine with it. Can we resume this?
Yes. TPS buttons.
So, yeah, so the TPS system is also accessible to any player here. You can enable or disable the boss bar here. Another small change we made here is the Rake game button thing panel was here to enter the game. Too many new players, I swear. 60% of new players would go in there, get confused, and just leave. So that has been kind of hidden by the Plot World portal right here. So it is still accessible, and you can actually see the sign discouraging new players to go there. So yeah, we've made it so that the amount of players that go into Rake game by accident is reduced a lot.
We also removed there was like a lemon portal here. Hi YT. Yeah, there was a no, you're not. Just kidding. There was like a portal to the old Lemon Island here, but it was closed since 2021. So we've moved that. They're exposing in chat right now that I have no life. I don't like that. But it's over here, and I'll cover that one later in this video. But yeah, so that is the Rake game now, and the other issue is that players just kept going this way, so we try to put these signs everywhere that says new players. There's not much this way. Read the signs, and you know that doesn't do jack shit. Yeah, so I mean, we have all these labels. We try to label everything, but sometimes it just doesn't work.
Like, you can't stop stupid people from doing stupid things, especially when they're 7 years old.
Exactly. Why is there a smiley face?
The tower's happy, or the little structure's happy. I don't know where. Yeah, YT did that. It doesn't look bad. We should leave that there.
Okay, all right.
New addition to the devlog. There is a smiley face in Founding Island now.
Yeah, we just discovered that one. All right. Now I will get killed if I don't show this. As we mentioned, there used to be that Lemon Island portal. Of course, this is the Lemon Island. It's been here since 2021. This is not the Lemon Island. Don't look at this. We'll talk about it later, okay? But this is the Lemon Island. It's an old, like, Redstone classic from when the revival first started. And the portal was originally right there, in the middle of everything. We decided against that, but it's now been moved right here. So this does This is like the exact same thing. Takes you to the island, but there's actually something hidden where if you go down here, and I have to be careful because there is a room in here that I cannot showcase. But if I put in a master key, okay. I love this door. But yeah, you get that big door, and then you enter the Lemon Bunker. Lemon Bunker is essentially almost like a mini sector of its own. Definitely not a sector of its own. It does not take enough land up, but it definitely has a lot of the things that the sectors require. I know this is like supposed to be like a nuclear, or I don't know if nuclear, it's a lemon reactor for it. We do have a storage system without IMS, but it's still a storage system nonetheless. We do have farms, so it has a lot of the, and I think over here is where there would be like, yeah, this is gonna be a hotel. So this is, it's like a cool secret hidden under Founding Island. It's another thing that it's like, you know, now that we are 24/7 at mc.theredstoneworld.net, main version 1.20.4, definitely not just pushing an ad right there. It's nice that I could just log in and be surprised with things, because, you know, for years it would just be, I just work on it, and then I log off, and then I log on, and then I just continue where I was left off. But now you just get to see things, and from my perspective, it's great. You know, I've been here 11 years, running this stupid crap for 9, so it's great. And I know I confirmed this in the like a special devlog at the end of May that was only for staff, but I mean, I in the 12-year anniversary video, I said that this was most likely going to be the case. I am not leaving. I have a new setup for university where I'll be able to continue working on the Redstone World, but it's nice just seeing players take initiative and just build their own stuff here. Because yeah, I can't micromanage everything anymore, but it's going great. This summer is amazing for progress. I'm happy how things are turning out, and now let me actually go into this minecart rather than just staring and talking about it for 5 minutes. So this is taking you to GES, which I thought was done, but you know, I always felt like it was a bit too empty. And now we have this third arrival station that takes you from the Lemon Bunker to here. And now on the top floor, we have a couple additions. This one will take you back to the Lemon Bunker. And then this one actually takes you to the FI Bunker. Even though that there were plenty of ways to get to the GES from the FI Bunker, there was never a way to get to the FI Bunker from the Gerudo Emergency Station. So that's now what this is. So this will drop you off into the green zone corridors, and it is compatible with the lockdown controls, but it's just nice to have that option finally available. And now, instead of working on his RCorp Rail project and leaving that all to me, what Void did was actually add these yellow wool things to force open and close every possible control. It did break some things. You can tell that I found it kind of unnecessary, but I mean, I guess it's nice to just have these like catwalks to go through the redstone in the first place. So I mean, it's not terrible. I think that this is the type of redstone that should be looked at. And what's nice is it sends a ping to Discord if you open up. Oh my god, that no clip failure. Whoa. Except he did not spell unauthorized correctly. unauthorized. But yes, we will get notified if you go through this door, so don't try anything. Now you'll notice that this part of the FI bunker also has this weird bump, and I'll show you exactly what that is and the other spot that it is in. I finally made a layout map for the FI bunker with toilet. So, you know, I did this, you know, we have the map for the main bunker, we have the map for Tower 2. For these big projects, I think that they should always have these. So, especially for something organized like the FI bunker, it works. And I had to expand all the ceilings because of how tall it is. And then we have the key, and it like goes through all the different levels of key cards. And then here on the other side, this is just some fun facts about the FI bunker, which actually has a surprising amount of commands and redstone and rails. And now we are done with the main changes around here, and now it is time for the RTC, which is of course where everything gets focused on a whole lot more. So on our RTC Minor, otherwise known as the bridge, I know this is essentially a completed area, we don't focus on it too much anymore, but the one thing that pissed me off was this location here. You know, it got spammed with the RCorp banners when the Redstone Civil War was going on, and you know, it was completely just griefed and closed off. So what we changed it into instead was a kind of like a guide plot on the bridge. So I mean, this is nowhere near like the first location a player would go, but it's nice to just see all the sectors pictured in one place. So I think TSG wrote these signs, so bear with them. But here you have the bridge RTC FI render. Technically, it's all the sectors render. If you look at it with high enough resolution, you can see all the other West Wing ones. But here you have the FI bunker, you have this weird photo of me, you have the Blakewood Forest, which is of course the rake game, you have the Forgotten Isle, the Founding Island, our beautiful Redstone Tower complex. Did I call it Das Central? I mean, this is really Das Village. That's my bad. Damn. Parks, let's move that down a bit. And you can see the Waterpark in the distance too, so we get the theme park and Waterpark. Cruise ship. And the main bunker, I always like these shots where you get half of the surface, half underneath. So that's just a nice change. It's better than whatever the heck was here before. And now we are actually entering the RTC. So now, yes, I know I could have covered a lot more in the water park, but I just wanted to keep things moving because, like I said, we have over 50 minutes of RTC on top of these few things that I'm going to cover too. So I think that I can keep this to 2 parts, thankfully, which is good. But we still have some things to cover, so let's do that. So actually, before we go to that, let's go down. You know, I've been pissed off by this food hall for a long time because it was completely empty. But not anymore. I locked this door closed, didn't I? There we go. That's a bit better. So all the plots of this have been filled now. We can delete this seating here because the seating is here. Oh wow, I forgot that that was programmed in. And a lot of them do have the functionality. So you do get the lemonade from there. Here you can, there's like a KFC where they kill the chicken live. Nice. $1. There's like some bread stand here. This one doesn't work. I know one of these gives you raw chicken. Yeah, what the heck? Disgusting. I don't know if this one works. Yeah, maybe those ones still have to get programmed in. Maybe I have to do that. I don't know if he needs my help for that. But it's way better than this thing being just completely empty room with a bunch of wool all over the floor. Because that's how it sat for over 2 years. This is way better. And oh yeah, while I was looking outside, I just remembered that I did with the Axiom. I changed up a bit of the terraforming all around the RTC island. First of all, I expanded this part here. Part of the reason for that is I do want to add in that Waterpark tree. I said I saved it. I saved it for a reason. I saved it so that it would get used. I love that big tree. So I was thinking I could have it here. And this is far enough where it's not going to absolutely destroy the view from Tower 3.0. So I added that expansion. I added this coastal sand. And I changed how this looked because it had a little bit too much terracotta for my liking. In my opinion, that looks way better now. Axiom is it's a really powerful tool. And then I'm going to cover in the next part what this, like the full functionality of this. But this is now a connection to the industry complex of Tower 3.0 using our IMS systems. So, an IMS system, you can't say that. You're saying intelligent minecart system. I digress. But this little like vending machine here, now when it runs out of either the cookies or the watermelon, it will fetch more from the storage system, which is of course a requirement for Redstone sectors. So I'm glad that we have that working. Now, something that I'm even more glad about working is something that's also taken 2 years, and it's only taken 2 years just because I didn't want to do it. In the last part, I said I'd rather do the rate game twice than do the commands for this once, and the rate game was like 2,000 commands. So, yeah, this, I don't know why this pissed me off so much, but now it's completed. So you just go up to our host Sean here, and you say, "Hi, I'd like a table, please." And now costs 2 emeralds, or you can get a food coin. I don't think there's any way to retrieve them yet in the RTC. I know you can get them in FI, you can get them in the theme park, and you can get them in the cruise ship. But you just choose what type of table you want. I'm going to go with a larger, which is max of 4 players, and also gives us better luck of being seated right here. Now, he walks to the table, he goes back home, and now here you see these books, and you can choose your seat. So here, I'm going to go, I got to go with the blue. We're going right here, and now to start, you're supposed to right-click the menu, and then it says that I am broke. So I'm going to legally get 2 emeralds, and then right-click. It's going to consume those, and now here is how you choose your meal. I did this kind of lazily, but I mean, I'd say that it does the job pretty well. You just choose what you want by clicking on it, and you can, if you want to order everything, it's like all you can eat. So you can order everything in the menu. We're not going to go with that one. Let's do the lemonade. But you can only order once, but I think it'll give you multiple item, and you get bread with every order. And now you say, let's finalize the order. And now he's on his way. So the I know it should be a waiter, but the chef himself comes out from the kitchen, and he'll walk up to your table, and then he'll explode and just die. But in return, you get your food, and your menu turns into a plate, and then all the items are there. So we got our seawater, we got our cocaine, our lemonade, cooked chicken, our I think that the baked potato is French fries and there are cookies, and it actually gives you a lot of the items. So I'd say that this one is probably worth the money. I think you get like the most out of this than a lot of the other Redstone restaurants. So now, I know that Deep Slate Diner got started in 2023, but actually all the way back in 2017 is when I planned the Deep Slate Diner. I, of course, just called it the Redstone Restaurant. But that was the idea for it, and I'm really happy that's completed. Of course, the tower really held us back. I was saying that it was gonna release, but then I suddenly had to plan all this.
And I did say that to everybody, like Supreme here. I've told him it's going to come out on July 10th. What is the date? As of today, it's July 11th, so no. So, the reason why it's not getting released yet is because of a new addition over there.
Alright, and then there is another bridge for the connections to the industry complex, but this time it is for the penthouse. And this one's still in progress, but by the time of next devlog, this will for sure be fully functional. And then there's going to be at least one more in between here for the hotel, because there's all those room service packages with that. And I don't know if any of these other ones. I know VIP Toilet's going to have something going across just to get the money out, so we'll see. But there may be some more things crossing between the two towers. Now, the last thing is actually something I forgot to cover in the RTC standalone part, and that is connected to our Tower 3.0's casino floor. I know I mentioned, if I can find it, it's the one with no windows, it's right here. So, I know I mentioned in the last time devlog that this was going to be a non-Euclidean space. Well, now, the teleport's not made yet, but the spaces, so if you go down here, it's on the west side of the RTC, you'll find this area. I think you'll enter in through here. This is, I know the actual building this is based off of is called Kraftwerk Berlin, but this was the nightclub slash casino location set in John Wick 4. So that is what this place is based off of, and it's a bit of, an unconventional setting for a casino, but I like it. I think it looks pretty cool, but it is very empty at this point. What the fuck? Carrying on, it is quite empty at this point, or so it looks. So we've actually made two creations from the Redstone Department of Technical Aspects, and I love both of these. These ones are really, really cool. So here we first have the slots by Lucas. Now there was somewhere a graphic telling you, okay, these are the ways you win, these are the chances, this is what it multiplies. But he deleted that from his plot without us carrying it over in any way over here. So I'm not going to dig through the commands to see what it was, but I know that there's like a bunch of different ways to win in this. And how it works is it's going to multiply your money in different ways. But, I mean, we're not going to run through this a billion times, but I just want to demonstrate it at least once. So the maximum bet on this is 8 emeralds at a time, just so that you're not getting any crazy multipliers. Because, I mean, this one's already insane. So this is the jackpot. I know this one for sure, how you get it. If you get 3 emerald blocks, then it will be multiplied however many emeralds you put in, from 1 emerald to 8 emeralds, by the number on the screen. And it increases by 1 for every, I think, 12 games. That is not a jackpot. So that's a pretty cool system. I know there's also a really high one it's an RW flush if you get only red and blue. I think it has to be like red blue red or blue red blue. And that way then you get a special one that's like a Redstoneworld special thing. But here, so the maximum bet is 8. Yeah, we put in 8. If I put in any more, it says that it's still 8, but there's an excess of 1, so it'll just give you that emerald back after you roll, but it won't be added in any multiplier. So now here, after we've bet, we can right-click this to spin. And this is going to spin for a random amount of time. It's different every game. Okay, so we've got one emerald, which automatically means we're getting our money back at least. Because if you just get 1 and nothing else, then... Okay, and there is no way. I was trying this for hours today. Not hours, but at least like 10 minutes, just using it to try to see if I could get the jackpot. And the first time I showed this on film, we got a jackpot. That is a bit insane. Now, hang on. I have to do it one more time just to make sure that it's not broken and that it gives us nothing next time. Or at least not much. Do not give me a 3 of a kind. Right now it's on track to give me a 3 of a kind. Okay, not anymore. Okay, see, there we go. Now that was nothing. But now we have all this money. You see the jackpot counter went down to 10. But what do we do with it? If you go to the other side, that was our command block base creation. But now here, by Chambo and myself, we have our ridiculously large redstone blackjack. Now, a lot of this, I feel like the size is a bit justified. This part is not. I knew a way to make this way smaller, but we decided we didn't want to do that because that was boring. So we added this massive binary counter just for comparing like bets. But this is fully functional. It has, I didn't know blackjack before this. I had to learn a bit, but it does have the doubling mechanic, and here we'll just do. Let's just do 8 emeralds. So if you win, you double your money. It's simple. Maybe I should be patient and actually just sit here instead of... Whenever I'm playing with it, I'm always looking at the redstone. But here, I should do it the legit way. Here, you can toggle what an ace counts as. So we have a 3 here. And now we'll start getting our cards. And these actually do work. You can take them out and look at them. It's not going to affect the gameplay. Okay, so we have 2 kings. We're at 20. Obviously, you're trying to get to 21, so there is no world in which we hit right now. So we're just going to stand. It's going to disable the controls. And now the house is going to start hitting for more. We'll see what they get. So they're starting off with a 3. I mean, it's not the fastest thing, but it is. I find it cool. So now the house is at 13. It's going to hit again. It hits as long as it's below 17, I believe. Okay, and now that is a failure. So now we won. Let's say player won in here, and now we should be getting 16 emeralds. So we were at 48, and now... Yep. So we got an extra 8. It works, and then what you saw there was it reset, and now it is ready to play again. Now what this whole thing here is for the doubling mechanic. So before you you do any of the controls, if you put in exactly the same as your initial bet in this doubling thing, then you hit once and then you stand. It's a blackjack mechanic. Alright, so I'm going to end this one here. I'd like to thank Lucas for being featured in this video and giving his perspective. And I would like to thank everyone who's been helping out this summer. It's been going great. I'm liking what I am seeing, and I'm hoping that we can continue this progress for the rest of 2025. I know we're most likely not going to get a release date for the 13th year anniversary. The release date isn't something that I'm so concerned about. I just want to focus on just making some good stuff, and then it'll get released eventually. We're not starting any new projects, so we're not trying to, stress ourselves out, get burnt out on everything, but we're just slowly chugging along on things, and I just like the way it's going. So I will see you guys in the next part, where we will be covering all the other major RTC changes. See you then.